Never having any regrets.
That I had no regrets. I wish I didn't have regrets, but I do. Not doing so good in high school and not doing so good at college in a couple semesters. So I regret not focusing on school more and just partying.
One thing from my past, I wish I would have taken longer to make some decisions. Some of the important ones, I'll say that much.
Probably the way I treated my dad in the last year of his life could have been a lot better for both of us, but
maybe trying to put myself out there more, in high school and stuff like that.
Maybe spending more time with people before I went off to college, because I look back and I wish I don't know, hung out with this person more, these people in my family more, and I can't really get that time back.
My major, I'm a health science major, and I wish I was in the College of Business.
Well, I don't think there's anything I would change, to be honest. I'm good. It's all good.
I think that I had a lot of opportunities growing up. I was a competitive acrobatic tumbler, so I could have, and I did gymnastics too, so I could have, potentially gone to school for gymnastics if I took it a little bit more seriously, which I wish I did. I ended up having a bit of an injury my senior year, so I had to quit anyway, but I wish that was something that I took a little bit more serious. One, because it could have helped me get a scholarship for school, and two, it's just something that I really enjoyed growing up, and I wish that I still had the skill and the opportunity to do it whenever I wanted. So yeah, I think I would change that.
Definitely the way I react to situations, because there's sometimes I tend to get a little bit overdramatic and a little bit oversensitive about certain situations, because I always think oh, I'm the one who messed up, or maybe I could look at the world and see things in a different way, and just kind of take it as a you learn and go kind of perspective in a way. So that's definitely something I'm looking to work on every day. I pray about it every day, and it's just something I can hope to improve myself with.
Being more outgoing through high school, probably that.
I guess how scared I've been to try. I've always quit something too early. I've never really found my full potential in any field of my life, and so I'm working on changing that right now. I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
Maybe having a better relationship with my parents before I got here. It's all right, but I've noticed just with other roommates, they call their parents every day, and I don't know. I just don't do that. I wish I was that close to my parents. Even my siblings, I'm not that close, but yeah, I guess that's something I regret.
I wish I had always been a good big brother. Yeah, I think so. I'm the oldest of a number. There's of a lot of brothers, and so yeah, there was a time when I was a teenager where it was just wasn't cool to have my little brothers around. It was just mean, just wanting them to get out of my life. I deeply regret that now. My brothers are some of my best friends now, praise God. It's an amazing experience to have them so close, but I had to wake up to myself before that could happen.
I would just say figuring out what I am passionate about sooner. It's nothing, it's not too big of a regret. The thing about it is there is stuff that I guess sucks about the past that maybe I could have addressed differently, but also if I didn't address those poorly, then I would have just done it again sometime in the future, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't change those, but I would definitely go back and somehow tell myself this is what you love. You know what I mean? Because getting in that as soon as possible helps, and I've already gotten it pretty soon. I'm only 20 and I already know it, or it's not one thing, but I know a lot of what I'm passionate about, so it's good. But yeah, I guess it could never hurt to know what you love sooner. So yeah.
I don't think I would want to change anything. I think everything happens for a reason, and everything is going exactly how it's supposed to go. I don't necessarily like everything that's happened to me, but I don't really think that's the point. I think things happen to us that we don't like, but it's always part of the plan.
I wish that sometimes I'd be better with better relations with other people in terms of I wish I wouldn't say certain things. I can't point to exactly one thing, but probably that.
I got food poisoning a week ago. I wish I didn't eat that sushi.
I don't know. I'm very happy with where I am. And I'm sure that there are things I regret and things that I wish I hadn't done, but I feel like changing them might change where I am now, so I wouldn't change anything, I guess. Although, who knows, maybe a different day I would say something else, but right now I'm good, so I think I'm alright.
Nothing. Yeah. Don't like it, but can't change it. That's what I think about it.
Nothing. Everything happens for a reason.
Again, how much time you got? One thing from my past. Oh, for goodness sakes. I don't know. I would think twice about a lot of things that I jumped into. You know what? You know what? I've thought that myself sometimes too. You know, and really, I don't know. There's some things I would have done differently, maybe, but maybe not changed. I don't have any regrets. I really don't. I've been married. I'm on my second marriage. I've been divorced. That's not always fun, happy, whatever. But I mean, everything's. I'm trying to see a different light. Like everything's a life lesson. You know, I don't want to have regrets, and I really don't. I really don't. I mean, things happen for a reason. If they didn't happen, you wouldn't get to a certain place. Or if this didn't happen, you know, maybe it opened something negative or bad happened and opened the door for something good. So, I off the top of my head, there's not like one specific thing. I guess that's good, you know. Like nothing really bad has happened that I wish it did.
I wish COVID wasn't here. I really do. COVID was the thing that hurt a lot of people. Another thing I dread happening, and I wish I could change, was what's going on in Ukraine right now. Sad. It's sad to see what's going on. And I hope someday we're going to take care of that situation.
I was going to say Ukraine too, because it's sad what's happening right now, and that they're fighting, and that we need to help them fight back against Russia.
My relationship with my parents growing up, you know, I wish I could have been, you know, less of a rebel, you know, and you know, not argue with them as much, and maybe listen to them a little more, and you know, maybe I'd be in a different place, you know, for better or worse, you know, I don't know. You know, I mean, I'm happy where I am, but you know, definitely could be a little farther. I'd say it wasn't the best, you know, as you know, a lot of, you know, people in this generation can understand, you know, not being able to relate, you know, with my parents and stuff like that. You know, that's definitely, I'd say, one of the biggest things, not being able to relate and them not understanding. So,
you know, I'm going back and forth on this. This has been you know, something going through my mind for a few weeks, especially now. One thing that I was thinking that I wanted to change for a while was kind of setting myself up a little better when I was younger, because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with life. I know so many people don't, and I'm not alone in that at all, but I guess I would have maybe just focused a little bit more on deciding what I wanted to pursue. But that's still something I'm racking my brain over a little bit right now. But on the other hand, I am happy that I've done some pretty exciting things in my life this far, and had some really decent experiences that you know, I wouldn't shoot down or trade for anything. But it's more me being stuck in what I want to do with my future right now. So I guess that makes me revert a little bit to the past and think that I should have started thinking a little more serious about it earlier. I'm new to the area. I've been here a year. Still just, figuring out what exactly I moved here for and what I want to do and all that kind of stuff. So it's a bit of a crossroads, you could say. Being content is something that a personal thing I'm striving to be better with, I guess. So, you know, nothing to complain about really at all. Just always think the grass is greener over there. So
one thing I wish I could change is
take the kids out this weekend.
Not always being sad. Like, I remember as a kid always thinking about certain people or thinking about certain things that I could do instead of enjoying what I had at that moment. I don't really get to hang out with my dad much anymore, and that's one thing I miss, is always being around him like I used to. So that's one thing I wish I would have done different, is not always wish I could have been with my mom, is enjoy the time that I had with my dad. So
I wish I took more time like she has, because like I went on so many vacations and I was more fortunate than others, but I wish I just took more time to like enjoy those things as my family. Since I'm graduating high school and just enjoying life now, I just wish I had more time with my family.
That's a tough one because that's something I try not to think about. Just like, I try and think that everything that's happened is not necessarily happened for a reason just because I don't believe things. I believe when people say things happen for a reason, it's because they found a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like they found a way to justify it. But I really can't think of anything that I would change, good or bad, because it all led up to who I am right now. So like, I wouldn't want to change that.
Same. I feel like I'm pretty happy right now. I wouldn't want to jeopardize that by changing something. It doesn't really matter now.
Yeah, like bad opportunities or bad like things that happen that are necessarily bad in that moment in time. Like a couple years down the road, you might get a lesson out of. So why change it?
I have very few regrets, really. I sort of drove my boyfriend when I was 16 practically into suicide, but he is still alive. But I do regret hurting him so much. He didn't commit suicide, but he threatened.
I wish I could change a whole lot of things. You know, I wish I could change a whole lot of things. The thing that I wish I could change the most was there's a saying that I always heard: honor your father and mother, and your days will be long upon the land. In the process of honoring my father and mother as their time was coming to their twilight hour, I was in my wild days, and I was partying and doing all kinds of crazy things. I didn't measure up to what they taught me. And I'm wondering now, did I do enough for them? Did I do enough for them? Even though I stayed until the end. But when you're in your wild days, you leave things undone. You leave things undone. I still have that feeling that I left things undone. I did all that I could, but I still feel like I left things undone.
One thing from my past that I wish I could change probably would be a trip that I made as a college student. We had the opportunity as a small class to go to Japan. In and of itself, that was an exhilarating experience. I really learned a lot, and I made friends, and we had a great time. But during that trip, I didn't realize my mother was sick. She had congestive heart failure, and she passed away while I was in Japan. And I wished I had known her illness, and I would have been there to help her or maybe advise her. I subsequently became a physician. I became a pediatric cardiologist. So everything kind of works out in the end. I think when you look at experiences that you wish you could have changed, you have to say, well, how did I grow from that experience? And look for the positive side of it. You probably aren't aware that you really learned a lot, and it's helping you with your current lifestyle. But you know, the darker end is actually life. It's life. Everyone has something they wish they could redo, relive. Everyone.
I wish I would have just had more faith in myself sooner. So I wish I would have just not given up on things so soon. So I don't know if there's really a specific one, but it's just over time a lot of instances where I was like, oh, there was an obstacle. I can't do it anymore. It's too much. It's too hard. It wasn't meant to be. And it's like, you know, sometimes the path of least resistance is significant, but then other times you just have to work for what you do. And so just don't give up.
Well, the choices I made when I was young. If I could take back all the times when I got locked up for stupid things I was doing, one thing in life, if I could go back and take that back and just change the way I did things, that's the only thing.
This is one I've actually thought about. So there are things that I may have wished didn't happen and things that I wish I had done differently. But honestly, everything that's happened has made me who I am. And there are little things I've thought about, man, if I had done that if I had gone into track instead of my quiz bowl team, I would have never gone on a trip that set me up to want to be a biologist and be who I am. But like, there are moments like that have happened, but I don't think I'd change anything because I like where I'm at, so.
I don't think I wouldn't change anything because it was life, it was experience for me. You know, it really, the things that I went through in my past, it really helped me along the way. And I believe that's why I'm still here to this day. A lot of stuff that most people would have given up, but I was able to maintain and continue on. Basically, thank God for my strength, you know, to be able to push forward.
My mama and my father, because my mom was a bit alcoholic, and she used to, she used to abuse me, and she felt a man before she do her kids, so I wish I had better parents in my life.
I wish I had more patience when my kids were little. Well, there was 4 of them in 8 years, so yeah, sometimes it was a little overwhelming. I don't know, I might feel better about it. They love me to death. They don't have anything I think they really hold against me, but I might feel like you never think you're a good mother, you know, but I might feel better.
I don't know, there's different moments where I think, just in general, more thoughtful or considerate of others, so I always, something I value in others, so I think I nitpick and find ways that I could be better with that. I think that's important. We're kind of ingrained, I don't know, I think just like you watch TV or the news, they're ingrained to look out, you know, for ourselves. I think it's human nature, look out for ourselves, and I think a lot of character is shown when people on the news are doing an altruistic thing with, you know, not like publicity in mind, but they do the right thing or help others without needing to or wanting to. I think that's, I don't know, I really appreciate that. It's a beautiful thing. So, I don't know, I try to do that in little ways, and I think it adds up. I think it makes the world a better place when people do that, even if you don't see it, if it's on camera or something.
There were times in my life I was trying to be someone that I wasn't and trying to fit in a certain way that didn't suit me, and it caused a lot of pain for me, and it took a long time to kind of relearn things. Well, I think I would have been a little bit more smart with my decision to leave my hometown and go to graduate school on a completely different side of the country. I'm glad I did that and had that experience, but I wish I knew at least someone or went with somebody or just was in a place where it was easier for me to make community there. And I really couldn't, and because it took me a long time to find my friends out there and like to have a sense of home. It was a lot more of a negative experience than it probably could have. Or it could have been a lot more positive experience if I had something familiar with me when I went to somewhere completely unfamiliar.
Watching several close relatives suffer with cancer in the last years of their lives and trying to help them. I did as much as I could, but I wish I could have done more to help them. So from a father, a mother, a husband, another husband, a grandmother, now I have a brother going through cancer. So if I could, it would have been to heal their cancer.
I would have been kinder to my younger self. I think that's one thing I would change. Just be more forgiving and kinder, and I think I would have made less mistakes if I wouldn't have been so hard.